Yes, we are here again, digging deep into the Queen of Parables. I can't stop being amazed at the depth of truth the Lord continues to well up out of these passages of scriptures. It's amazing. We are back to that thorny soil. And you remember, we said the thorns were not there initially. They sprang up. Along the journey, they sprang up. Now, and we want to begin to look at those thorns more critically and see what they are, because they play a very vital role in running down the life of the Christian. You remember, he says, when they sprang up, they became unfruitful. Let's look at what Luke says in chapter 8. Let's look at what he says. Luke chapter 8, verse 14. The seed that fell among thorns stands for those who hear, but as they go on their way, you see that? So these people are taking off in the faith. They are journeying, and the truth is that most of them are doing so very well. And you know, their pastors are saying the way this young man, the way this young woman is moving, he will soon be of use to the kingdom. We will soon be harvesting him. We'll plant him in the Bible study group or in the welfare department. Oh, this guy is going to end up as a coordinator in the church or something. And suddenly, he begins to draw back. You check well, you find that the forces of the thorns of the kingdom are choking that life out. He says they are choked by life's worries, riches, and pleasures. And guess what? They do not mature. Watch that. They do not mature. Wow. You know, we could just finish our sessions at this point. Why do we have so many immature Christians in church? Tons. Why do we have so many Christians and the pastors are looking for workers? Tons. Why do we have so many Christians in the world and the unbelievers don't know the difference between the church and the world? Tons. They do not mature. And do you know the implication of that? I will tell you. You plant a seed of corn. It grows, produces the blade. It will produce an ear. And then the ear will produce the full kernel. And you will now have to pick that kernel and plant it in the next dispensation. Now watch. You cannot plant the ear. Why? It's not mature. You cannot plant the nearly mature seeds. You don't harvest wet maize and plant it. It will just rot. So you see what the devil is doing. He allows people to come into the kingdom, but they cannot be used in the kingdom. That's the implication. If you look at the next parable in Matthew chapter 13, in verse 38, Jesus said, the good seed are the sons of the kingdom. How did they become sons, seeds? They were the mature ones in the parable of the sower. When you are a seed on a good soil and you grow to maturity, then God picks you as a human seed because the word has become flesh in you. You are now a living seed. And God takes you and plants you in the world. Because in that second parable, he says the field is the world. In the first parable, the field is the hearts of men. When the seed of the word of God is planted in the hearts of men and it matures, the mature Christian is now going to be lifted and planted somewhere so that he will become a sower. Once a soil, now a sower. When a soil manages the seed well, that soil turns out to become a sower with a seed. How are you? How mature are you? If the Lord wants to open up a new field, can he pick you? Can he plant you? Are you a plantable seed? Have you grown to maturity? Or have you been distracted along the way? You know, Paul was grieving over some of them in Corinthians and even in Hebrews. Say, but by now you should be teachers. But look at where you are, needing that you be taught the very elementary principles of the Christ again. Far be it from you that after listening to this, you will remain where you are. You will grow. You will grow. I say you will grow. All the hindrances in your life will weed out. I weed them out. Cares and worries, deceitfulness of riches, I chase them out by the power of the indwelling spirit. May you be strengthened unto purpose, one mind, bearing the fruit of righteousness by the power of the indwelling Christ. In Jesus' mighty name. Amen and amen.